Spoiler alert. The political ideology is the Bible of modern day evangelical Christianity. Political ideology. A tale of two pastors, one called Webbon and the other one called Wesley. These two pastors and their respective viewpoints, I believe, paint a picture perfect representation of the split, of the schism in modern Christianity here in America. Now, Joel Webbon, the hate pastor as he is called, espouses to the idea that women should not vote. They should shut up and be quiet. He believes that America belongs to Christians, i.e. white people who believe in white Jesus is who we believe America belongs to. An extension of and a furtherance of manifest destiny, which of course found its roots in the doctrine of discovery, which goes all the way back to the Dum Dum Diversas and the signing of the papal bulls that enslaved people like me back in the year 1452 beginning, which consequently spawned the transatlantic slave trade, killed all of the Indians, Native Americans, and on and on and on and on. This is the idea of a mainstream evangelical Christian pastor. And the pushback from big evangelical pastors with platforms or people who could say, no, that's not what we represent, the silence is absolutely deafening. On the other hand, Pastor Wesley of Virginia, I believe, had a recent viral video talking about someone who was deleted recently in Utah. And he talked about the fact that you cannot be a part of sanitizing a wicked person who lived their lives sowing discord, hate, and denigration, and all of these other things their whole life, even though they were taken out and or deleted in a very violent, vile, wicked, and evil way. Recent article, not terribly long ago, taken among a select number, let's just say, of evangelical Christians. And they talked about weakness in speech and liberal talking points, right? You want to know what those weak liberal talking points were? Well, I'm going to tell you. I'm going to read a couple of those weak liberal talking points from people who, once again, believe that America is theirs by manifest destiny, which goes all the way back to the signing of papal bulls by like-minded, wicked people. Then we'll talk about Pastor Wesley. Here are a couple of the things that they found to be weak liberal talking points. Let's see. Ashrei aniyei haruach ki lahem malchut hashamayim. Blessed are the poor in spirit, because they will receive the kingdom of heaven. Weak and liberal, right? How about another one? Ashrei ha'ovalim ki hem yenuhamu. Blessed are those who are merciful, because they will receive mercy. Sounds a little familiar, right? I know that there are no thous in these, so it might not sound familiar to you. No pouting pink lips and long blonde hair here. This is the historical Jesus of Nazareth. You want to hear one more, maybe? Here, let's share one more. Ashrei barei levav ki him yir'u et ha'elohim. Blessed are they that are pure in heart, because they will see God. So these are considered, like I said in a recent article, to be liberal, weak talking points by a lot of evangelical Christians here in America. What's stronger? I don't know. Involuntary lethal injection of the homeless and people with mental illness. What's tougher and stronger talk? If you're homeless and you're hungry, it's probably because you're simply just lazy and inferior, by the way. What's stronger, tough talk that they want protected, under the guise of free speech? I don't know. People with melanin women not having the brain capacity in order to be taken seriously. And if they are being taken somewhat seriously, it's because of programs like affirmative action and DEI. And they're stealing the slot of a deserving white person. Do you see it yet? Do you see it yet? The idea, again, is that by nature of their aesthetics, as I mentioned in other videos, by nature of the color of their skin and their hair texture, in their mind, they are superior in every way. We start at a default, lower than low position, and we have to prove ourselves in everything that we do. Pastor Wesley now, away from the Webbon and the minions that think like him, Pastor Wesley in Virginia called out these things. He called out some of these thought processes and denounced them for the filth and the ilk that it is, for the disease that it is that runs between the ears and then the hearts of people who claim Christ in the white, primarily evangelical Christian churches. Love you, love you, love you, as long as you sing. Sing for me. Sing me to tears as a member of my praise and worship team. Sing me to tears as a member of my choir, but I do not want to hear your opinion or your take on anything. I don't want to hear from you. Be glad to be in the rooms, kind of like going to the club, right? You can come in, but lean up against the wall. Don't try to dance. Don't try to dance. I have attended both predominantly Caucasian evangelical Christian churches. I have attended also predominantly African American churches. I cannot speak for all of the situations, but I can give you a window into the world based on having attended both of these types of churches in multiple states. In the black churches, you hear the words of the man Jesus Christ that Christianity, evangelical Christianity, claims to follow. You hear those words. You hear about the heart of the man who was called Jesus, or Yeshua, as his mom likely called him. And his heart was the heart of Torah, because again, from his own mouth, he said that his words are not his words. They are the words that his God gave him and sent him in order to disseminate and to put out to the nations. He gave the invisible God of Israel, who has no form and has no shape. He embodied the express image of who that God is by virtue of his works and by virtue of the words that his God gave him and that he spoke, and in the way that he lived his life, from standing on the earth, between him and his God, and then between his fellow man. That's why he was called the firstborn of many brothers to come, the firstborn of many brothers to come. In the, again, the African American churches, you hear these things about taking care of the fatherless, the widow, the poor people, who you will always have around you. These things are the heart of the Torah, and therefore they are the heart of the man, historical man, called Jesus Christ. These are the things that I heard in the predominantly African American churches. Now, as things started to happen here in the country with Tamir Rice, a lot of the people that were killed, George Floyd, X, Y, and Z, when I have dipped in and out of doors at predominantly white evangelical Christian churches, one here in the Bay Area, you know, I had a former pastor say, well, something happened in the news and I guess I have to talk about it. Begrudgingly, you don't want to address the hurt within the community of people that make up a smaller portion of your congregation. Why? Because you don't believe that we have worth. You don't believe that we are made in the image of God. There is so much wrong with this situation, and there are so many of us, you out there, that will sit with your melanin in the seats of these churches, and you will stay quiet, just like in the first century. Oh, they're quiet because they don't want to be kicked out of the Beit HaKnesset, out of the synagogues. They're for fear of being removed. They don't want to speak up. You so value sitting in that place, in that building, in a place where you are not wanted and where you have shoehorned yourself into membership, and you're happy as long as you're being tolerated. Wake up. wake up and get out. The historical Jesus Christ of the Bible can be found, and his teachings can be adhered to, and you can live these things out in a community of people that look like you, that you can support and that will support and love you. And even in churches where there's a mix of people that are good people, whether they are Caucasian, African American, Middle Eastern, whatever they are. The bottom line is that we are all one people. We are all created in the image of the invisible God. And there is no kind except humankind. He who has an ear, let him hear.